So what's the best way to test for ketosis? So blood, breath, or urine. So let's talk about the 3 types of ketone bodies that the body produces, and how you could test for
each one of them. Yep, there's a different way to test for each one.
Yeah. So acetoacetate, commonly notated as ACAC, acetoacetate, is the first ketone that the body starts to produce. Mm-hmm. So the other 2 ketones, acetone and beta-hydroxybutyrate, are made from acetoacetate. So ACAC is kind of the first and mastered ketone body, right? And so early on in ketosis, your body can be producing a lot of acetoacetate. And early on, it spills over into the kidneys where it gets excreted in the urine. So when you're in week 1, 2, 3, 4, when you're using urine test strips, you're really testing for the presence of acetoacetate.
And it is in the first 4 weeks or so.
Yeah.
It is an accurate level. Am I in ketosis? Am I doing things correctly? But from week 4 and beyond, things start to change.
Right. And just a note on the urine test strips, like, I'm colorblind. I'm red-green colorblind. So looking at those test strips is really difficult for me to match up the color with what's on the box or something like that.
It's kind of tricky for a normal person. Yeah.
Yeah. So the next one is the one I already talked about, was acetone or acetate. And this is kind of a spontaneous byproduct of either acetoacetate or beta-hydroxybutyrate. They can both spontaneously break down into acetone. And this is what you smell on your breath. So acetone is like the breath disposal system for ketones. And
some of my clients will say, I know when I'm in ketosis because I can taste it. And that's what they mean.
Yeah. And this is something that's highly individual, again, because it's a spontaneous process. Some people are going to spontaneously produce more acetone than other people. So
yes.
if you're in a group of people that are in ketosis, some people might smell more than other people, right? So but it is the least abundant ketone in the body.
Yep.
Exhaled through the lungs and is easily measured with breath testing if you have a high quality breath tester like KetoScan or Biosense.
And we do have a breath testing product review here on the channel, Tara's Keto Kitchen, where we go in to depth about how breath testing works and how it correlates with blood testing. It's not the same as you're going to hear. Blood measures the different ketone body. So it's not measuring the same ketone body. So there's no absolute direct correlation or chart that you can use to translate. There's ranges.
Right. And so again, there's on Biosense's research page, they show breath testing having a trailing effect from blood testing, right? So if you said at 10 a.m. my blood ketones were X, you might see that same correlation or level of result in your breath a couple hours later. But you would see that arc going along with each other.
So acetone is what a breath testing device would be measuring. All right, so moving on to beta-hydroxybutyrate.
That's like the rock star of ketones, right? Beta-hydroxybutyrate would be kind of the king of ketone bodies. That's the one everybody knows, BHB. It's kind of easy to remember. Mm-hmm. ACAC, I easily get that confused with ACDC, and then I start thinking about music. So beta-hydroxybutyrate, again, is derived from acetoacetate and is what you're testing in your blood. So you're testing your blood serum levels. You have beta-hydroxy dehydrogenase. That's what's on the test strip that is able to break it down and tell you how much is in your blood. So yeah.
There's 3 different ways to test, and each way tests a different ketone body. 3 different ketone bodies, 3 different ways to test, all are different. So what are the benefits and disadvantages? I should have said advantages and disadvantages of each thing. So blood testing is kind of the gold standard because, as you just learned, BHB makes up 70% of the ketones produced by the body. So, that's a really great way. But for some people, the test, you got to buy the device, and the test strips are about $1 each. Now, for a lot of FSA plans, if you have one of those, or HSA plans, you can actually turn it in. So you can, so look into that and see if your plan, you can actually use it as a medical expense and get that reimbursed through your insurance plan. Now, your breath testing, there's a few caveats with that. One, you need to always test 30 minutes away from food and drink. So sometimes that can be a challenge, especially if you're trying to test in the morning and maybe you're drinking some coffee, something like that.
Now, what about alcohol?
And if you drink alcohol, you have to wait 24 hours. It's not going to be accurate for 24 hours due to the changes. I believe alcohol increases acetone production in the body. Yep. So it's not because you had alcohol and it's actually the increase in acetone in the body due to the alcohol consumption. So you need to wait, they say at least 24 hours. So it can actually skew your results for longer than that. So if you're someone who likes to have a drink every night, then breath testing really isn't for you.
Right.
So those are a few things to think about with breath testing. And then I'll always follow the instructions on the device to get the most accurate results. Those are going to differ from device to device. And then the test strips are really the least reliable thing. They're, the first 4 weeks when you're just getting started, they're great just to indicate you're doing things right. That's what we used our first 30 days. Mm-hmm. But I get comments on the channel and it says, okay, well, Tara, why, I was in ketosis, I was doing everything right, but now my urine strips aren't changing color anymore. It's not because you're not in ketosis anymore. It's simply because now your body is using those ketone bodies, no longer dumping them and excreting them through the urine.
Yeah.
So those are some things to think about.